Hey everybody, so this is just a quick video to talk through question 9 from page 259, Physics Plus textbook. It's a question about specific heat capacity. So they're saying that a copper calorimeter of mass 68 grams contains 75 grams of water at 25 degrees Celsius. How much energy is required to heat the water to 28 degrees Celsius? So let's just draw a quick diagram of what we're dealing with. We have a copper calorimeter, which is our container, and then it's got water inside in it. So if we want to heat the water to 28 degrees Celsius, unfortunately we're going to have to heat that calorimeter up too, okay? So for the calorimeter, its mass is 68 grams. If we convert that to kilograms by dividing by 1,000, we get 0.068 kilograms. Its change in temperature that it's going to go through is going to be 3 degrees Celsius. And we also can find its specific heat capacity because it's given to us on page 259, and it says its specific heat capacity is 390 joules per kilogram Kelvin. For the water inside the calorimeter, we've been told that its mass is 75 grams. If we divide that by 1,000 to get its mass in kilograms, we get 0.075 kilograms. Specific heat, we'll do the change in temperature first because that's what we did the last time. The change in temperature, if we go from 25 to 28 degrees, it's going to be 3 degrees Celsius. And specific heat capacity of water, again, it's listed on page 259. It'll always be given to you in the question in an exam. So that's 4180 joules per kilogram per Kelvin, or joules per kilogram Kelvin rather. Okay. So now if we want to figure out how much energy is required to heat the water to 28 degrees Celsius, what we're going to do is write out a little formula first. So the total energy is going to be the energy needed to heat the calorimeter plus the energy needed to heat the water. So E total is going to be energy needed to heat the calorimeter. That's going to be calculated by getting MC delta theta for the calorimeter. And the energy needed to heat the water is going to be calculated by getting MC delta theta for the water. So MC delta theta for the calorimeter, its mass is 0.068. Its specific heat capacity is 390. So I accidentally stopped recording my voice there for a second, but specific heat capacity is 390, and then the change in temperature for this is 3 degrees Celsius. Over on the right hand side, for water, we fill in the mass of water, which is 0.075 kilograms, times the specific heat capacity of water, which is 4,180 joules per kilogram Kelvin, times the change in temperature for water, which was 3 degrees again here. If we then look at what we've just done so far, this equation here in red, MC delta theta, the mass times the specific heat capacity times the change in temperature for the copper calorimeter, has been filled in as these values highlighted in red. And the values for water, highlighted here in green, have been filled in as these values here, highlighted in green. Mass, specific heat capacity, and change in temperature. Next, we're just going to multiply all those values out. When we multiply out the energy needed to heat up the copper calorimeter, we get 79.56. Again, that's these terms here multiplied by each other. And the energy needed to heat up the water is these terms here multiplied by each other. So that gives us 940.5. Next, all we have to do is add these two values to get our total energy, and then remember to use our unit, which is joules. So the total answer we get then by adding together these two values is 1020.06 joules. That's to heat up the water and the copper calorimeter. Okay, next we're asked what would the energy be if instead of using a copper calorimeter, we used an aluminium calorimeter. So honestly, our calculations are going to look very much the same. To drive home how similar they're going to look, I'm just going to work off what we already have here, and I'm just going to change some of the values, right? So if we go back to the start, the calorimeter that we're using now is actually made out of aluminium. They tell us that the mass is 50 grams. So it's going to be 0.050 kilograms. And the change in temperature is still going to be 3 degrees Celsius. And the specific heat capacity is going to be different because it's aluminium instead of copper. So the specific heat capacity of aluminium is 910 joules per kilogram Kelvin. All the values for water are still the same because they haven't given us anything new. They just asked us to switch the material that the calorimeter was made out of to an aluminium calorimeter, which had a slightly different mass. And will of course then have a different specific heat capacity. So the total energy required to heat up the water by 3 degrees would still be the energy required to heat up the calorimeter plus the energy required to heat up the water. The energy required to heat up the water is still going to look more or less the same the whole way through the calculation because it's still the same mass, the same specific heat capacity, and still the same change in temperature. What's going to be different is the values for our calorimeter here. So I've cleared off those values from the old experiment or the old calculation. So let's have a look at the new values now. I might just put down MC delta theta here for the aluminium calorimeter, so it looks slightly different. I know before I let C be there for calorimeter, but just so you don't get confused with C for copper. So C for aluminium, or AL for aluminium. Okay, so the mass of aluminium we said was 0.050 kilograms. Specific heat capacity for copper C is 910, and the change in temperature is going to be 3 degrees. So we filled in those values there for the aluminium calorimeter. MC delta theta for water is still going to be the same as it was before. You don't need to multiply these out, or you can if you want, but they're already done. So 0.050 times 910 times 3 is 136.5 joules. And then if we add that to the energy needed to heat up the water, we get 1077 joules as our answer.